All right. Hey, people, how you doing? I'm gonna start this off. We're getting all our, stuff together. So we're gonna talk about Boober and Tammy, and we're gonna take a deep dive into it. We're gonna really debunk them in this one. So stick with me. First of all, how are you guys doing? What's y'all's days like? No sound I'm seeing. Hold on. Hear me now. Let's get back to our data here. So, like I said, we're talking about Boober and Tammy here, and the first segment of this is going to be these ghost warrants. And I'm just going to welcome everybody to the breakdown on these ghost warrants. See, I've been analyzing the last 11 videos of what we'll say is targeted harassment. You notice the pattern. He claims that we're fleeing the law. He claims there are active charges. But in his latest reveal, he admits the records are sealed. Anyone with not law enforcement training knows the truth. You do not seal active criminal warrants. He's using the word sealed to hide the fact that there is no evidence to show. He is asking you to believe in ghosts. Timu. Yes. And essentially all they're doing is slander, libel, defamation, harassment, stalking, and clear clinical signs of obsession. I mean, at this point, it seems like if my mom wasn't involved or around or even like alive, the man would have no channel at all. So let's not forget that in this context. You see, he doesn't realize there's like 500 different ways to look at things, and I look at it professionally. Hey, Nada, how you doing? And I've compiled a whole bunch of this. Let's put these on screen so I can see the chat. So tacos and tacos. We're going to talk about it. You see, from content analysis of all of his videos, the metadata, the environment, identifying technical discrepancies in lighting, audio quality, or background elements, it suggests specific locations and timeframes. You see, Boober likes to follow through with a narrative consistency, and it's kind of appalling. He maps out the Bubba narrative. You see how he mentions that I have evolved, shifted, or contradicted myself over 9 videos of span. Connie, how you doing? All right, so we're going to count, like, literally in the last 9 videos, the amount of times that I've heard him say Bubba is amazing. He's clearly obsessed. And these are poorly clout chasing measures, really. In the video posted May 3rd, 2026, the primary conflicts in that video are financial disputes, employment claims, and financial estrangement. See, the accuser, Boober, claims he cannot seal driveways due to rainy days. During a specific time frame involving a $50 tire dispute. The timestamp is 17 seconds. Though he has that message, he's not showing the full metadata, the timestamp, sender ID, unedited headers. See, that just leaves him vulnerable to it's vulnerable to selective editing or fabrication, which we know they're known for. See, the third-party verification in his menagerie of bullshit, he brings Tammy, Andrew, Ghost, Lips, everybody else into his narrative. See, what he's trying to do is expand his investigative circle. If these individuals have different accounts, or if he's misinterpreting their involvement, it creates a witness credibility gap. That undermines the entire video arc of his channel. You see? If you look at the narrative shift, he'll claim that you hinted at needing money, when he's talking about Mama Bear. Right? He claims that was, essentially dry begging or hinting. He is admitting to no direct asking. This is a classic reach method, if you know what I'm getting at. He is turning casual conversation into financial attack to suit his script. So we'll go on to the employment attack. The theme of the employment attack is discrediting work history. And we see that best when he tries to get at me. Because he attacks my professionalism. He mentions it as a way to diminish me and others. He spends entire minutes attacking my work. And he does that to avoid talking about his own rainy days. But if he is so successful, and I'm asking this as a question, Boober, if you're so successful, why are you obsessed with a $50 tire from the past? Bet you can't answer that one. So, we're going to talk about another one. And this one's going to be the family closure. The theme of that one's going to be isolation tactics. And if you watch at the ending of this video, the timestamp's 2 minutes, 53 seconds. He's trying to paint a picture of isolation. He claims nobody wants anything to do with you. And it's a common psychological tactic. It's used to make victims feel targeted, vulnerable. It's used like this. We all have that data. We have the truth. He has a camera. And more importantly, he has a grudge. Yeah, exactly. $50 that he didn't even borrow to her. You know, that's pretty fucked up. So, we're going to talk about another video of his. And in this video, the subject portrays himself as a victim of bullshit and denial. As we go through the remaining 8 videos, which you look for, you know, the Jason connection. He mentions Jason a lot, tracking how he links me, you know, Jason and me to, you know, all this key understanding of the hierarchy of his investigation. He also uses the financial discrepancies, the amount he claims you owe or ask for, in other videos. The story grows, you know. He likes to expand the narrative so he can further, you know, apply pushback. See, in the one uploaded May 3rd, 2026, too, you see. And all these are on his channel. Actually, no, I'm wrong. It's May 4th. It was actually uploaded today. He explicitly claims that I'm in Florida, right? And disputes my claim about being in the Carolinas, which I guess it's illegal and against his investigative research and applied theories to travel through another state. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't go nowhere if I don't ask Boober, but back to professionalism. See, despite where I'm at, his knowledge of my location suggests he is digitally tracking my footprint, my digital footprint, you know. He is phrasing, I don't know which one, which shows a lack of concrete data. He is guessing based on proximities, i.e. the birds. You know, he uses the birds as one of the strong talking points, but I guess European grackles can't exist anywhere else besides Florida. I mean, Boober's an expert on birds. We all should figure that out. So we're going to talk about also his JLA narrative since it's pushing onward. Hey, Stitchin', how you doing? Nobody's being mean to anybody. Hey, respect. Hey, Pickles. See, he likes to reference the JLA, the Jessica Lunsford Act, and the RSO label, you know, regarding Jason's record. And most of all of his videos here recently and up to the last 3 years, he clarifies it is not a charge. But see, it's a critical pivot. He is trying to use legal sounding acronyms to create a stigma. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And if you don't know what a stigma is, it's basically a sensation of, you know, aptitude, I guess. I don't fucking know. You can look it up. It's in the dictionary. But without having actual criminal conviction to point to. There is no criminal conviction to point to the JLA. But he's using these legal sounding words to create stigma. And it's a common tactic to bypass the defamation filters while still attacking character, right? Just in case nobody knew that. And it goes against YouTube's TOS. So, Pickles, we are further debunking the Boober weird queer side. We are taking a deep dive into this because he's really entertaining. Yes, negative stamina. Stigma. I almost said stamina. What is stamina? Stamina, I guess, but stimulus. And he's using this stigma to, like I said, further attack character and bypass defamation. So let's talk about this obsession reversal. And the theme is the law enforcement mask, with a big quotes on law enforcement. And if you watch how he frames his obsession, he says he's not obsessed with Mama Bear, but he is obsessed with you getting caught and going to jail. This is a vigilante persona. He's trying to position himself as an investigator. And that's to cover up the fact that he is spending his mornings making videos about my family. So, if that doesn't spell out obsession in clerical, easy to understand format, I don't know what does. I don't know how much more clinical it can get from there. And see, here's another thing. He wants us to go to jail, but for what? Yes, exactly. You see, the long arm of the law eventually catches up. So, let's talk about the location attack. He's disputing my geography. He targets me in the backyard, right? And he claims I'm in Florida, not the Carolinas. He's trying to expose my location live, right? That's doxing. But notice the uncertainty. He says, I don't know which one. He's throwing darts at a map. Yes, Connie, I would say that's pretty much obsessed. He's hoping to scare us into thinking he's closer than he actually is. See, this is a common tactic too. It's pretty much A1 Street. It's like a scorned lover. So, basically, this is a textbook tactic to scare us into thinking he is way closer than he actually is, which we all know he's not going to do a damn thing at all. Connie, they want me to go to jail for some very weird reasons. He swears to God he contacted the FBI, and we're gonna, like I said, this is a really deep dive. Okay, there's no telling how long this live is gonna last, and there's no telling who I'll let up here. Might have to switch filming locations too, because this is gonna be a good one. So, like I said, notice the uncertainty in the man's voice. The JLA admission is the next theme we're going to talk about. The theme of this one is, it's not a charge pivot. This is the smoking gun on his credibility. He admits right there it's not a charge. He's using the Jessica Lunsford Act as a weapon. He's playing to the audience's emotions. because he has no actual legal standing. See, hostility escalation. Let's talk about hostility escalation. The video ends with a direct drive off a bridge comment at 2 minutes 53 seconds. From a content and modern standpoint, that marks a shift from commentary to harassment and incitement. He also uses the Andrew variable. This is a multi-person fallout. Right, so he is shifting the blame in more than one way. See, if we look at the video from also today, May 4th, in this third video, he seems to be expanding his target list to include supporters of people, while doubling down on the JLA narrative. He is now claiming he has a team of researchers helping him. But people, this is a common tactic to increase perceived authority during an online dispute. You see, the subject mentions mods and people that do phenomenal research. 1 minute and 56 seconds. This is a classic force multiplier tactic. He's trying to make us feel outnumbered. And I don't think it's the phenomenal research that really he's trying to put on. I'm reading comments. Hold on. All right, so back on track. I want to point out something. Hey, H. Davis, how you doing? If you have such phenomenal research, then why are you stuck on the same JLA point without providing any new documentation or specifics? If your team is phenomenal, they would have found something beyond what he has already admitted, not a charge. Target expansion. We're going to talk about target expansion with him too. I like the way you introduce Amy Perkins into the conflict. This is a common deflection pivot. When a creator runs out of new material on their primary target, me, Mama Bear, Jason, they often attack the target's associates to provoke a reaction. Does anybody see where this is going? This is just new gameplay to keep his channel active. His channel's slowly dying. Let's talk about sanitation and domestic claims, right? He makes specific claims about PP pads and household cleanliness. 1 minute, 14 seconds. These are unverifiable low-level character attacks designed to invoke disgust in the audience, you guys. Realistically, these claims often surface when Boober lacks hard data, legal or financial records, should I say. So he resorts to soft data, personal insults to maintain engagement. And you notice the phrasing here. It's artificial authority, is what it is. Quote what I said, phenomenal research. Like I said, this is a scare tactic. He wants you to think that he has an army, but look at the results. for 3 videos now that I've been looking at, he has the same 3 letters, JLA. No new records, no new data. His research team is a ghost. There's no research team. And that goes on with the associate attacks. You know, people associated with me, other people associate with me, beyond me. And it's just collateral damage. He's running out of ammo on me, essentially, is what's happening. So he goes after Amy Perkins, right? He calls it playing. This proves his justivative motive in all of this is not child safety. It's not helping to find, Summer Wells, because he has contributed nothing to that case. Nothing at all. And if he has, where's the documentation? His motive is entertainment and harassment. To him, this is a game. See, he likes to JLA broken record thing. He does this circular argument. It's like listening to a broken record. And he asks again, why is the JLA on his record? Right? He's asking the audience, you guys, to do the work for him. He has no answers, only questions. He's trying to create a suspicion where he has no facts. If he had the why, he would have said it by now. The Andrew motive, where he explicitly states, we're doing the same thing to you that you guys did to Andrew, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. This confirms that the whole retaliation campaign is exactly that, a retaliation campaign, and not an independent investigation style, whatever the hell he's got going with the Jessica Lunsford Act. I have no idea. I have no insight on that. He likes to use psychological pressure, like, using nursery rhymes and taunts, rosy posy, to infantize the situation. It's a shaming technique used to get the rise out of the live stream people and YouTube community and other people associate with other people. Exactly. Where's the nieces he claims to care about? See, I want to bring up a couple things too. He likes to challenge my credibility and my personal, professional, claims as a welder. And he likes to make severe accusations regarding my family and past conduct. The credential attack is attacking my livelihood now. That's basically what he's trying to do. Hey, Mom, how you doing? He claims that he called and checked on my CWI number. He says the name doesn't match. But here's the thing. Notice he doesn't show any screens, any number he called, any recordings, nothing of the sort. There's no record where he called the American Welding Society as a whole person or not. There is no claims to fame there. He did not provide anything to prove that, right? So what I'm getting at is it's a certification bluff. He's trying to bluff me. He's trying to discredit my skills because he can't win the argument on the facts. And it leads to the AI debate. He says I took the post down. Right? I don't know what post he's talking about. I didn't post anything at all. I don't remember posting anything, at least. I wouldn't post my actual, documents out there for strangers on the internet. So, there's that. He claims he has the screenshot, but here's where it gets interesting. He says it is an AI generated. Okay. But he admits he took the picture 5 hours later. Anyone in this chat knows a screenshot is not forensic proof. A screenshot can be doctored, altered, tooled with AI. He's obsessed with my profile picture. Well, he should be worried about the truth. Hey, it's the weekend. See, I proved Boober wrong. I provided a actual screenshot of his page. I took a screenshot of this so-called welding cert that I provided, right? And I used an AI tool to doctor it and say something to the matter of I like fat pigs or whatever, and had a pig down in the profile picture where the welding cert was. And I doctored it, and it even put a red ring around his profile picture up there and said he was live, and he wasn't live. So that furthermore proves if I can do it, he can do it. So more than likely, highly likely, he provided that cert in which he doctored. So he is using AI doctored photos and videos and whatnot. So to water that down to where you can understand, he more than likely generated that welding cert using AI tools. Yes, they can't find something, so they quickly accuse others of taking things down. More than once I've noticed. Yeah, exactly. Connie, you are right. But like I said, it's more than probable that he doctored images and provided them to furthermore justify his claims. So we'll go on to the defamation. Unsubstantiated allegations. Watch his transition. He moves from welding to violent allegations, where he uses words like choke and gun. But where is the police report? Surely a crime of that magnitude where a deadly weapon is pointed at somebody, the police would be involved. Surely a report was made. Surely I would have been incarcerated for it. So, while we should be worried about the truth, funny man Jenkins over here is fabricating lies to try to feed to the audience out here. He is desperate to paint me as a career criminal. And this isn't an investigation on his end. This is textbook character assassination without a shred of evidence. He mentions Raging Cajun Media, my channel name. Everybody knows me. In which he references my name and confirms he is actively monitoring my specific online handles. The work narrative he pushes. He finishes off by saying, "You don't know what real work is." Everybody that knows me knows I know what real work is. He is but a peon. He furthermore justifies this by saying, "And you only work on your mom's car." And I quote, that's his words. This is a recurring theme in his videos, trying to frame me as a dependent and unskilled. Everybody knows I'm very independent and very skilled. So, reverting back to April 29th, 2026. In this video, it's a 16-second taunt where he can be seen laughing and asked, "Where did your post go of your wannabe certification?" The ghost post phenomenon. He claims that I took down a certificate post. See, if a post ever existed, there is no deleted footprint on a platform's public-facing site. He claims he relies entirely on the screenshot. It's doctorable. Screenshots are doctorable. And by mocking the disappearance of my post that was never there, he created a narrative of guilt, as if I'm hiding evidence to distract from the fact that he cannot provide a live link or a verified archive, like a Wayback Machine Inc. Sorry, I dropped my phone. Today's AI tools, even basic inspect element techniques on desktop browsers, make it trivial to change text on a web page or social media profile before taking a screenshot. Screenshots are not documentation, not even to forensic grade. Evidence must include a URL. There is no URL. If you can find URL where I apparently posted it, any other videos that would help, be my guest. Ideally, being captured by a third-party archival service would have helped your case too, Boober. Yeah, that photo, exactly, Queso. This is a mirroring tactic. I specifically noted that I used AI tools to demonstrate how easily his own page could be doctored, and it's a powerful demonstration of proof on my end. And everybody can go back and see that post. It's still there. I didn't take that post down. The other post he's referring to, I don't know what post he's talking about. It never existed. I have no idea. No idea. I can make his page say whatever I want in seconds, completely using a screenshot. That completely neutralizes the credibility of the screenshot he presents and posts on his page as he claims come from my end. Because if I can doctor it, he can doctor it. This is called manufactured guilt. This guy's pretty guilty because he's running out of content. The truth, the post has never existed. By asking where it went, he is trying to convince the audience that I'm deleting evidence. But you can't delete something that was never there in the first place. He calls it a wannabe certificate. Why? Because he created it. In a world of AI and photo editing, a screenshot is meaningless. I can make his own channel. Say whatever I want in 10 seconds. He's using bottom tier doctored photos to attack a man's actual career. I want to see the live link if he claims the post is gone. I want to see where his device is seeing. I mean, go back and screenshot it, I guess, but screen record it. A static screenshot is the easiest form of digital evidence asking to be faked. It's pure theater. It contains zero data, zero evidence, and it's designed to purely incite his followers. So, we're going to look into this. The subject claims he called and confirmed my CWI number, Certified Welding Inspector number. Keep that in mind, inspector. He says it belongs to a different name. This is the CWI bluff. Fabricated verification. He's back to the welding numbers. He says he called to check the name. Who did he call? AWS doesn't disclose that information over the phone. He is claiming identity theft, but he has no proof, no record, no document. He's trying to scare me into quitting my job. He's attacking at the very thing that makes me a professional. See, from my professional angle, since I'm a certified welder, from my angle and from what I know, and you can go and look this up, you can deep dive into it like I did. The AWS, or American Welding Society, certification verification is done through an automated portal, not typically via a manual phone call where an agent would discuss private discrepancies with a random third party. This is a major red flag in his investigative process. His claim of a different name is an outright fabrication designed to imply identity theft. He's trying to whoa the audience into, oh, he's a fake. Let's revert back to certified welding inspector number. Certified welding inspector is the individual that inspects the weld after which said welder finishes said test or weld at a plant anywhere. A certified weld inspector is a whole nother independent individual. Yes, he might be correct in his claims that certified weld inspector number was a different name, a different guy, because it might be and actually is a different name and different guy, because the certified welding inspector is the inspector that inspects the welds after which you have welded for weld tests or at plants on job sites. He is a whole different guy. He is not the guy that took a test on a verification or certification letter. Mr. Boober, is that any more clear? the CWI number belongs to a different person because the CWI is the person that it belongs to, because the CWI is not the guy that took the test, but the guy that inspected the test. So his number is on a certification. Yeah, you got that part right, but you failed to leave that point out when you argued your whole, oh, I called the people and they didn't agree to what you said. You know how stupid you made yourself look? Do you understand how stupid you really kind of look right now, bud? You got it right, but at what cost? Yes, the CWI certified weld inspector is a whole nother guy. Yeah, his number is on a certification, but he's the guy that inspects the weld, not the guy that the certificate belongs to. His numbers are there to verify he inspected and passed or failed the weld. Well, can't say failed because you don't get a cert when you fail a weld test. So it's only there when you pass a weld test. So you got that part right, but you argued a point that you didn't think I would discrepancies or whatever the fuck. Okay, back to professionalism. This guy is really known for technical hallucinations. Okay? And this is seen also with the JLA and misinterpretation. He claims a 0 on a record means someone has not stayed in compliance with the JLA since 2009. Here's the forensic and law enforcement angle approach on that. Derived directly from state statutes and everything and watered down to where the viewers can understand. The JLA is a Florida law. A Florida law related to background checks for contractors on school grounds. It is not a registry with compliance scores in the way he is describing. His explanation of what that 0 means in his technical hallucination, he is making up a forensic definition for a number he likely saw on a basic background check report. He likes to use a law enforcement bluff too, so we're going to get into that. He states the situation is in law enforcement's hands and warns you to go on the run. You hear that, Mom and Dad? He warns you to go on the run. This is where I'm going to ride in on my, big old horse like the knight in shining armor. I'm going to take a restroom break. Actually, I'll be right back. So, I'm back. We're going to revert back to a couple seconds ago where he says, it's in law enforcement's hand. And my mom and I need to go on a run. And apparently I do too. This is a common vigilante trap. By claiming the police are involved, he attempts to silence his target's defense by implying that any further talking is interfering or digging a deeper hole. It's purely intimidation tactics. He tells you to pack your shit. He tells you to go on the run. He says the police are kicking in doors. This is harassment, plain and simple. They wouldn't be watching YouTube channels for updates. He's using the threat of the law because he has no actual evidence to present to it. He adds a new layer by mentioning what you've done to your sister is that's a scattershot attack. Let me go on and put it plain and simple to you. Throwing as many different crimes as possible to see what sticks with the audience. This is a common scattershot. The compliance claim. If someone is truly out of compliance, let me preface this again. If someone is truly out of compliance with a state act like the JLA, it results in immediate legal action or deauthorization, not a vague zero on a public facing website. He likes to use targeted reputation attacks. He finally said the name. He called out William Vines. He's no longer talking to me in my username. He claims my certification is a lie. He calls it impersonation. This isn't just bickering. This is a direct attempt to get me fired, discredited, libeled, slandered, defamed. So, unsourced facts. Listen to his source. He says, like a gentleman just said, who is this gentleman? Why isn't he showing the official portal? He's using vague figures to validate his own lies. He said he found out it for facts. But the only fact here is that he has no documentation to show you. The fraud conclusion. The ultimate bluff. He ends with the same line. That number does not match up on your name, does not match up on your record. Does it match up on your certification? He says it belongs to someone else. This is the moment to show the truth. If the name matches to the name on screen, his entire deep dive crumbles into a pile of lies. He is pulling rabbits out of a hat because he has nothing in his hands. Like I mentioned before, the certified weld inspector number he is referring to is an entirely different individual that did not strike an arc on a welding test. He is the individual that inspects the weld for which the welder has passed on a weld test or work site, an x-ray. He uses the fact that my family paid for school as a gotcha. In reality, paying for education is a standard path to certification. He is attempting to frame it as buying a certificate rather than earning one, in which I definitely earned all of mine. When he tells me to run from the law, this is attempting to maintain the high ground by pretending he has initiated a legal process that doesn't exist. So, let's dive into acoustic fingerprint. The subject claims he knows that I'm still in Florida, right? Because of the bird sounds in the background. Match my mom's videos, right? Because of the bird sounds we were saying, or whatever. So, we're going to dive into that. It's a little windy out here tonight. This is an attempt at acoustic geolocation. While it sounds technical, it is highly unreliable. Many native bird species in Florida, like northern mockingbirds or blue jays, have ranges that extend throughout southeast, including the Carolinas, and all the way over to California. This is a reach tactic. He uses a lot of social engineering tactics here. So let's talk about professional sabotage plan that Boober has. He explicitly states his intent to call the AWS, in which he claims to has and done. It's a social engineering tactic. He plans to pose as an employer looking to hire me to bypass privacy barriers, to extract information. This is documented as a form of targeted harassment. Proving your certification would preemptively neutralize this specific threat, is his intent on identity theft. He claims there are going to be charges pressed, which is a predictive statement, not a factual one. In the world of data forensics, if someone is fleeing charges or there is an active warrant in a state database, his lack of a warrant number or a case file proves these are speculative attacks, not reported crimes. So let's listen to a scientific proof about these birds. He claims he knows I'm in Florida because he hears the same birds. This is how desperate he has become. He is trying to play or in knowledge, whatever the hell that word is, to convince his followers he is tracking me. But birds fly, and that theory doesn't hold water. He is guessing, and he is guessing wrong. And yes, I have a professionally put together teleprompt on all this, by the way. If you watch this reveal, he admits his plan on camera. He is going to call the AWS and pretend to be an employer. He is admitting to social engineering to attack my livelihood. He isn't looking for the truth. He was looking for ways to get at me and destroy my personal character. This is premeditated and it's on tape. Premeditated and on tape. Hey mods, somebody record that, screen record that and send it to me. Matter of fact, I actually have the URL in my teleprompt. I might could save it. You never know. He claimed I fled the state, but this is the missing warrant theme here. He claims their charges are coming, but where's the paperwork? If there were charges, he would be showing the docket number. Instead, he shows nothing. He uses vague threats of child endangerment because he knows those words trigger an audience. It's not data, it's drama. He shifts his final threat to someone named Connie, promising to blast your shit next. This confirms he is actually trying to broaden his campaign against my whole social circle. He continues to mock my mechanical work, specifically mentioning a transmission in one of his videos. This is a recurring attempt to frame my high-level mechanical skills as backyard tinkering. We're going to talk about hostility levels here. His videos contain heavy incest-themed insults from a platform safety perspective. This moves significantly into targeted harassment and bullying territory, which you can point out in every one of his videos. This is a sign of a deteriorating argument. And I actually do have the links. Okay, that's good. So, let's go into April 29th, 2026 on one of his videos. And of course, his mouth is open. I mean, this man really built the channel and said, let me hold my mouth open. The raised seal in this video he's talking about. He shows fundamental misunderstanding of modern credentialing. The AWS and most industrial certification boards issue digital credentials with verifiable ID numbers precisely so they can be checked on tablets, phones, computers, and many other devices in the field. Demanding a physical race seal for digital verification is pseudo-investigative tactics. This is predominantly used to confuse the audience that might not know how modern welding and multi-position certifications are tracked. He mocks me a lot for having dirty hands. From working, cars, welding, everything like that. He's trying to reframe high-level mechanical repair as scumbag behavior simply because it involves getting grease on my hands. This highlights his insecurity regarding actual physical labor. Notice how he goes on fishing expeditions. He starts by guessing addresses: Shady Oak Lane, Shady Oak Boulevard, Shady Oak Street, and he mentioned Aunt Christine's house. This is classic fishing. He doesn't actually know where anybody is. He's throwing out street names, hoping to trigger a reaction from one of us that confirms for one of them. He wants his audience to think that he has our location. But his shotgun approach proves he is operating on blind rumors. Now, Lips, be honest, tread carefully. My mods are serious. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying. I know there's a whole hostility debate between everybody. I don't have a problem with anybody on my channel, but my mods control the comment sections and whatnot. So, hey, you know, hey. So, in part, this is fishing. He's operating on blind rumors. He also threatens to get a hold of my ex regarding child support. And he claims I can't keep a woman. So let's clear this up for a second. I stay single because I work on myself. I did have problems with my baby mother, and things didn't work out. That's as far as anybody needs to know. Anybody that knows me personally and knows me better knows the full story. I will not divulge the full story to a social media platform for the public to just know about. That's my private life, and I choose where and when and who to disclose it to. Past that, it claims to not keep a woman. That's my personal choice. It's not a character attribute on my end. It's just a personal choice on me. I don't choose to keep anybody in my life. I mean, my bad for having personal choices and traits. I mean, I guess I can't be human. He's trying to construct a narrative of a broken, isolated man. He relies on attacking my past because he has no leverage over my present. This is how you know he's faking the investigation that he supposedly has. He is demanding a race seal on a certificate that's digital. We're living, credentials are verified through online registries, not wax stamps from the 18th century. He calls it a screenshot. I call it bull. Because he doesn't understand how modern trades work. He's attacking actual labor. Look at what he considers an insult. He is mocking a man for having grease on his hands. He is mocking the fact that I pull transmissions, do engine work, weld, know multiple trades, and my hands are never idle. He mocks this very fact, and it eats the man alive. Everybody needs an idol, and I know it's okay for me to be your idol. He sits in front of a camera all day after he goes to his group. He doesn't know the first thing about manual labor. I'm actually out here turning wrenches, building things, and keeping the world turning to the right. He's trying to shame hard work because he doesn't know how to do it himself. The Shady Oak fishing trip. Let's get into that. The doxing bluff. He starts guessing street names. Is it Shady Oak? Shady Oak Lane, Boulevard, Street, Pegasus Lane. This is called fishing. He doesn't have an address. He doesn't have a location. He doesn't have a clue. He is hoping I will slip up and confirm it for him. He threatens to call exes. He threatens secret phone calls with the law. But 9 video later, he has produced 0 facts. See, this 9 video campaign amounts to official police records shown, 0. Verified AWS discrepancies, 0. Confirmed locations, 0. Number of insults, bluffs, guesses, lies, defamation, and absolute personal annihilation of character. Oh God, countless. Consistently, I've been following his channel, seeing exactly what he's got going on. This individual claimed that I am fleeing the law. He's alleged active warrants, gun charges, child endangerment. Yet he has produced 0 docket numbers, 0 arrest records. Today we found out why. In his own words, he has now claimed evidence as sealed in family court. Anyone with actual law enforcement training knows how absurd this is. You do not seal active criminal warrants. You do not seal fleeing from the law. This is the ultimate red flag. When cyber harassment has no proof, they invent a reason why the proof is invisible. He is asking you to believe a ghost story. He is trying to haunt you with false narratives. Let's talk about obsession with Jason Michael Johnson. He keeps pointing to the 0 on the JLA Act on a report, right? The Jessica Lunsford Act on Jason Michael Johnson's supposed record. He wants you to believe this means non-compliance with the registry. This is a complete misunderstanding and misinterpretation of how the law works. The JLA is a vendor background check system for schools. It's not a criminal charge. In his own video, he admits it's not a charge. He is demanding Jason prove innocence for a crime that doesn't exist. This is a textbook bullying tactic. Demanding answers to questions he made up. Professional defamation and digital incompetence. Now we move to his attempt to destroy my livelihood. He claims my certification is fake because it was what? Related to somebody else? Was it because the CWI's number didn't have the same name I did, unfortunately? Was it because you don't know how certifications of that magnitude work because you seal driveways and you idolize me? I would like to know. He actually demanded to see a red seal, a raised seal. My qualifications in welding, in multi-position, multi-thickness, AWS credentials are digital for a reason, so they can be verified in this field. Then he mocks me for having grease on my hands. He's ignoring modern industrial trades and their hard work. The incompetence level of this man is absolutely staggering. High performance automotive engineering, mechanical physics, and welding actually are demanding, requiring physical labor, intensive training, and exertion of mind over body. He wouldn't know that because he sits behind a camera and tries to shame a man for turning wrenches. This is the only thing he has engineered: a false narrative. Acoustic geolocation and paranoia. Finally, let's look at his attempt to stalk my location. He claims to know I'm in Florida by listening to the birds in the background of my videos. He thinks he is an audio forensic expert, but he is completely blind to the reality of my life, including my upcoming work. He is guessing. He is throwing darts at a map. He has manipulated screenshots and hallucinations at this point that he's believing his own treachery. Because he lacks the clear credibility and capability to read actual digital footprints, he's furthermore throwing darts at a map. For all of his channel, he has tried to act like a judge, jury, and investigator. But his real investigation requires data. It requires ballistics, metadata, police reports, and verified registries. He has none of these at all. He uses harassment, homophobic slurs, and threats towards my family to mask his lack of evidence. This campaign ends today. This data is transparent. His credibility is zero. Whenever you say prove your innocence, man, the burden of proof on an accuser is just that. It's a burden. Since you cannot provide police reports or documentations, you have nothing to prove. So it's a burden on your end. So guys, do we really think that Boober is a credible personal figure we should be listening to? Or should we just kick his analogies and his legal jib jab to the curb and actually do something to help others? Let's discuss the sealed records logic gap. You cannot seal an active warrant for someone out on the run. If the records were sealed, he wouldn't know they exist. So reverting back to the JLA Act, if he was on the run from it, he wouldn't know they exist. If they were public, he'd have a docket number. He has neither. He's also mentioned that he's recorded a couple of videos of mine where I played with some physics and science and created a laser. And that's exactly what it is, a science experiment. And because I had mentioned, certain entities like Lockheed Martin and whatnot, he feels threatened, right? And that's a false sense of security. And when he shows these videos to his law enforcement contacts, they're simply going to laugh at him because no laws were broken, nothing was harmed, and it's simply that. And it's if he would have read the description, it would have been purely for science and educational purposes only. And it's clear in the description that I don't recommend people try it or do it. Let me do it. So yeah, good reach there. You won't get far. So, Mr. Robert Thompson, I'm going to call you by your professional legal name. I ask of you professionally to provide documentation to me, therefore, furthermore, proving that I am facing incarceration. I want to see your docket numbers. I want to see where you have proof that we are criminals supposedly on the run, and something substantial, not paperwork fugitives like most departments and agencies would consider my parents. Um, Legally speaking, I want to see your reports. I want to see it all. The campaign architecture of Boober's whole channel is built on social engineering. He uses pseudo legal definitions, such as the JLA and acoustic guesswork, the birds, to furthermore justify to his audience that we are career criminals, in which we are not. His failure, the move from I have facts to the records are sealed, is a total forensic retreat. You don't seal family, public, or thereby non criminal records. My foundation is built on verifiable credentials, actual mechanical expertise, and professional tracks in legal and law enforcement. I am the one pursuing a track in law enforcement. Okay, I am looking to be in the field of forensics. He is the one using the threat of the law and bullying as a tool without a single docket number to back it up. He's trying to stop momentum of other people's lives by furthermore defaming them. As I mentioned before, I would like to see docket numbers, police reports, and records that are sealed like he claims. If he doesn't have that info, people, he's guessing. He's admitted to social engineering, impersonating an employer to interfere with my career. That's a legal liability, not an investigation from a professional standpoint. An investigator's stance on Boober Weir, i.e., Robert Thompson. Me, I'm a certified welder, mechanical expert, and I have an aspiring track to be in law enforcement. Him, he's an anonymous source user, a speculative claims expert, zero documentation wizard. Boober Weir, if you have a docket number or a verified AWS discrepancy report, drop it now. One of my mods should unblock you now that I've asked. Drop it now. Otherwise, you're just repeating a script you were told to say. And I'm pretty sure if you blink fast enough, we'll know you're in trouble because Tammy might be telling you what to say. She seems like a vile woman. And before I jump off of here, we're going to discuss another thing that it has been brought to my attention. We've already addressed the JLA hallucination, so let's move back to actual data. It has been brought to my attention through a couple of my moderators and researchers that are in my chat that Tammy has kicked the entire loving fuck out of a dog during one of Boober Weir's videos, right? And I have the video. I'm gonna play it and watch it. This is like the second time I've actually watched it, so we're gonna see how this looks on you. Let me pull this video file here real quick. And I do ask, Tammy Borden, username Queen Bee of Mobs or Slops, why did you kick that dog like that? I want to know why that animal was warranted physical violence when it didn't look like to me the animal was being threatening in any kind of way that warranted physical violence with your foot. You talk about Benny Keys, and you probably talk about me for having to euthanize a dog for trying to attack my child. You talk about Benny Keys for euthanizing a dog for attacking his mother, but you're back there kicking the fuck out of the dog in his live stream. And I want to know why. So, I am not aware of the Munch and Haley situation. Some of my moderators might be incited or enlightened on it, and it's down to them to release that information. Tammy, kick the dog. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Does any Taco? Do you have a timestamp on that? Does any one of my moderators have a timestamp on that video so I can pull it and send it into the ASPCA? Because that's animal abuse. That is straight animal abuse. What warranted that dog to be kicked that violently? I could only imagine how fearful them animals are for you. I've also received reports that Mr. Robert Thompson has been seen on live stream slapping dogs for no apparent reason as to aggression of the dog. So these are the characters that are attacking my parents with no proof, but there is documented proof I am actually, with my eyes, looking at of her kicking what appears to be a dog in the background. I mean, I would certainly hope it's not a child in the background she's kicking, much less a dog. But that's a china cabinet, and if you're back there just kicking the living fuck out of that china cabinet, are you just having a bad day? Is your foot okay? Is the china cabinet okay? Did you break some toes when you kicked that hard mahogany wood? At least that appears to be mahogany. That's very hard wood. What are you kicking back there? It doesn't look like you're kicking something off your shoe. It looks like you're violently kicking an animal or a person. And the look on your face indicates extreme violence. So, do you have any explanation for that? Yeah, one of my moderators, I'm gonna put y'all to work. I'm gonna need somebody to send me that video. I'm gonna send that into the ASPCA and whatever other videos y'all can find of them slapping animals, neglecting their animals. Go on and send that in to me. I'm gonna send that in because this one, it looks like she's violently kicking a dog. And these are the same people that put off the lie and the implication that I pulled a gun and stuff, and I'm a violent offender. So yeah, I'm gonna need that information. I'm pretty sure you do, but the background music kind of drowns it out. So I'm gonna need my moderators. Connie, if you have the videos, can you send those to me? But yes, I would like to know why. So in closing, we have this internet poser, or posers much less, posing in as judges, juries, and investigators all at the same time, trying to convict people merely on speculation. While in the background, they're abusing animals and, football kicking it to the 60-yard line, looks like. If that was a Chihuahua, that would end terribly. Robert, Tammy, please stop abusing the animals and get your lives together, because this is not a good look for you guys. This is looking pretty bad for you. All this culminated into the death, hopefully, of your channel. Like before mentioned in a couple of my last videos and live streams, I highly advise you to either just take your shit down or change the trajectory of your channel. You don't have anything to contribute, dockets, police reports, none of that. No actual factual information. No recordings, no police reports, calls, none of that that would point you in a valid direction. You have nothing contributed to the Summer Wells case. You have nothing contributed to the Casey Compton, or what is it, Casey Compton case? Yeah, I think so. You guys are drama-filled drones that harp on speculation. So, providing AI doctored and wrong information to misinform your audience is a form of cyberbullying, harassment, and defamation. And I will be looking into these matters and taking care of them as we, talk along, I'm going to close out and jump off of here and be back up maybe tomorrow or something. I hope everybody has a good night. I hope this puts Boober to bed. Absolutely. So, until then, me and Merkman are going to be out. If Boober keeps continuing on with this, I'm going to start putting merch out, and we're gonna have a good time with this one. Okay, I know my channel's not that big, but I will personally start creating merch off of this guy. I'm going to monetize the hell out of this. This guy is going. I've built my channel off of these guys, and I look forward to continue. You guys have a good night. I love all you guys. I'm gonna get off here, go to bed, probably watch Yellowstone or something, and wait for the helicopter people to kick in my roof and take me with a rappelling rope or something, you know. Yeah. Raging Cajun Media. I'm out. Merc Man, he's out. Love you guys. Good night.